Nouns and adjectives in Aramaic are quite similar to what you would find in Hebrew, but some of the endings, the markers of the nouns, are different. As with Hebrew, Aramaic nouns have gender, masculine, feminine, and number, singular, plural, dual, two of something. They occur in the absolute state and the construct state, as in Hebrew, but there is also what is called an emphatic or determined state. This is sort of the equivalent to the Hebrew absolute noun with a definite article, but in Hebrew the definite article is placed on the beginning of the noun, whereas in Aramaic the aleph is added to the end of the word to make it definite or determined. Occasionally, instead of an aleph, you will have a hey on the end, which serves the same purpose. It is thought that the derivations of the two forms of this way of making things determined or definite is somewhat different, but you can just think of it as sort of kind of playing the same role. The endings are going to be a little bit different. In singular nouns, the absolute melech and construct melech is going to be similar to what we have in Hebrew. The determined, however, is going to have an aleph on the end, malka. In the feminine singular absolute is a comet's hey, and that's familiar. Construct pataktav, again, familiar. But the feminine determined singular is going to have an aleph again on the end and a tav in front of it. In other words, you can think of it this way, that the aleph is being added to the construct form. Unlike Hebrew, the masculine plural absolute does not have a mem on the end, but instead a nun. The construct is the same as in Hebrew, malche, but notice the end of the plural determined. It's a doubled yod, comet's aleph, malchaya. Get used to seeing that whenever you see the double yod with the comet's aleph, then it is the plural determined form. The feminine, instead of having an ot ending, has an on, chevan. The construct of the feminine plural is chevat, and then the determined form, chevata. Notice that there's sort of a pattern of a comets, and then an aleph on the end. Note that some feminine nouns are not marked as feminine, so you may have to look at a lexicon to fully understand whether a noun is masculine or feminine. The dual ending is generally patak, yod, hirik, nun. Nouns with dual forms are mostly those that are natural pairs, for example, hands. Like the noun, the Aramaic adjective may be inflected for gender and number, but this is determined by the noun it goes with. For dual nouns, the plural adjectives are used. Note here the endings on the adjectives, both singular and plural, absolute and construct, and determined. The adjective may function as an attribute. This is called the attributive use. In this case, the adjective modifies a noun, agreeing in gender, number, and definiteness, and comes after the noun. So here, matanan, rav ravan, and many gifts. Eloha Rabbah, the great God. Note that the adjective agrees with the actual gender of the noun and not its form. The adjective may describe the state of the noun, in which case it is a predicate adjective. This is it's the same as in Hebrew. In this case, the adjective agrees with gender and number and comes either before or after the noun. It is never determined. So here we have, its foliage was beautiful. You translate using the verb to be. Adjectives can also be used as nouns or substantives. Here, a watcher and a holy one. Kaddish, the adjective, is used to describe, is used as a noun to point to a particular being.